The hunt for the next professional MasterChef champion is back on. And these 6 chefs all believe they have what it takes to win the title. Tonight, they face 2 challenges set by Judge Greg Wallace and 2 of Britain's best chefs, Monica Galetti and Michelin-starred Marcus Waring.
I'm going to do my best to stay in the competition as long as possible because it's a great honour.
I do like to see myself as quite different. So whether different is wrong or right.
I'm expecting all these chefs to come in here to put up a good fight. They're here because they want this title.
I'm really excited. I'm looking forward to this amazing journey.
Start of the competition. Good to see you 2 again. First test is the skills test, and you're going to split it. 3 of the 6 are going to do your skills test,
Yep.
and 3 of them are going to do yours. What's it going to be?
It's a very old classic dessert, which is floating island or île flottante.
So make a meringue, make a custard, and make the meringue float on the custard. I think this is going to scare them.
I think you're right.
At some point, they would have seen a poached dessert. They would have made a meringue.
How long are you going to give them for this?
We're giving them 15 minutes.
Right.
I'm poaching mine on sugar and water. The syrup makes a firmer meringue. So the next thing I'm going to do is make my anglaise. And I just want equal amounts of milk and cream. We have some vanilla. I have my yolks, which I need for my anglaise. I need some sugar.
That's the quickest custard I've ever seen in my life.
You just read my mind. Monica's been really clever here, Greg. She's just making the right amount of custard for the dish itself.
So I'm just going to set the anglaise aside to cool in the ice bath. So next I'm going to make the meringue. I have the egg whites in the machine, and I want to bring them up to a stiff peak before I add the sugar. Normally you quenelle it, but I'm going to use these moulds. It's up to them what mould they choose to use. That just drops in.
Wait, I've never ever seen that. I'm hoping the chefs have.
I'm just showing you another way that this can be done.
It's also trying to find out how the chef approaches it. There is a classical way and there is their own interpretation.
Do you know how I think they're going to approach it?
How?
Like this. Ah! That's how I think they're going to approach it.
Let's hope not. These will take about 3-4 minutes.
How do you know when they're done?
When they're done, you can tell they're quite firm. And you can see they're rising out the mould.
I love this. That's amazing. Yay!
So I've got some caramel here. There we have it, guys, our île flottante on anglaise, or our floating island on custard.
That's wonderful. I'll be very impressed if our guys can do that.
I think the balance is lovely. I love the lightness of the island.
It's incredibly light. I mean, that taste of sugar and vanilla, that's perfect.
Any chef coming into this kitchen should be able to make those 2 things.
Should we get the first one of them in?
Absolutely.
Let's go.
First up is junior sous chef, Sam.
At the minute I work in a 4-star hotel in the centre of Newcastle. It's 1 rosette. We're a hotel, so we're serving food constantly from 9 in the morning till 11:30 at night. Best thing about being a chef is you don't go to work and you sat by in the office. And you're doing something that you love. It goes through your veins, it does, every day. I'm not going to say I'm going to win the competition, but I'm going to be very hard to beat. I'm going to set the standard from the start.
Hello, Sam. You all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, you?
Well, oh, yeah, I'm fine. I don't have to do this.
Yeah.
What I would like you to do today is to make an île flottante.
OK. 15 minutes, off you go.
Sam, do you do much pastry work at all?
I do when I can.
Have you ever trained in pastry?
No.
Have you ever read about pastry?
Yes.
College?
Yes. Give me level 2 and 3.
Of which a floating island, I'm sure, is part of.
I can't remember, it was that many years ago. I was at college.
Mine was a long time ago, and I remember.
Maybe he was off that day.
How are you going to cook the meringue, Sam?
Just quenelle the meringue into the custard and just slowly cook it.
Okay.
You got 5 minutes left, Sam. All done?
Yep.
A bit of errors along the way there with your cooking methods. You tried to make a caramel sauce, but you actually need to make a normal caramel, not a sauce.
All right, sorry.
Yes, you need to poach the meringues, rather in milk than in a custard.
Yeah.
Ah.
The meringue is very light. It's only just cooked through. And you've got the sweetness coming through with the sugar. The custard is very thick and rich. I actually quite like it with the caramel sauce.
Thank you.
I think the dessert tastes great. I really do. The presentation may be not quite what you wanted, but your custard tastes divine. And I agree with Monica, the toffee sauce is actually very good. Well done.
Thank you.
It's nowhere near as elegant as Monica's was, but it tastes great.
Happy.
Well done. Off you go.
Thought that went better than I expected. I was a little bit phased at first, but I was really pleased with what the judges said. Thought it went really well.
Next is 25-year-old Aaron from Pembrokeshire.
I'm currently working on board HMS Torbay as a submarine. I cook underwater for 130 people, 4 meals a day. I'm the equivalent of a head chef. Nothing goes out that galley without me, one, authorising it, and second of all, checking it to make sure it's up to standard. When we're at sea, we do roughly between 18 to 20 hours a day, no breaks, no weekends off, no holidays. The food that I usually cook in the galley is home cooking. We also do functions as well, high-ranking VIPs that come down the boat where we do more a la carte food. I'm really excited for the competition. Not many people know as Chefs of Mariner. We are a very limited few.
So what I'd like you to do today is to make an île flottante. You're okay with that?
I've never heard of that, chef.
It's a floating island.
Okay.
Does that ring a bell?
Gonna guess for a floating meringue.
Yes.
Do you do any pastry? Have you done any?
Not really, no.
Is all your training been done on the submarine?
Yeah.
Have you ever cooked on land before?
No.
Your first time cooking on land?
Pretty much, yeah.
How exciting.
I'm here for a challenge to learn things, so...
Off you go, chef.
It's something that I've not done before, so I'm giving it my best shot.
Aaron, have you made a custard before?
No, chef.
What are you looking for?
I'm looking for a good sweetness, a right consistency so it coats the back of the spoon. Obviously the flavour of not only the cream but the vanilla comes through as well.
Okay.
My caramel's not reducing back down with the heat.
You making your caramel again?
Yes, Greg. I'd rather make it again than present something that I'm not happy with.
You've got just 90 seconds to get the caramel on. Come on, this is coming to an end now.
Aaron, is the caramel starting to colour?
Yeah, slowly.
All right.
All done. Time's up.
Making the anglaise, the egg yolk has scrambled in there. The cream you've used to poach your meringue in is burnt on the bottom. And your caramel, yes, it happens, it burns, and you start again.
Yeah.
Quite surprised you've actually put a dessert up, to be really honest with you, just watching some of the things that you were doing. Yeah, you got through it by the skin of your teeth, I think.
I agree, Chef.
I'm sure you've faced many fights before in your time, Aaron. Gonna have to push in the next round.
Yeah, I will do. I will improve.
I'm sure you will.
Thank you. Having 3 people there, especially 2 chefs so high up, being in that situation, it was so daunting, and made simple mistakes that I shouldn't have made. Obviously, it's things that I won't do again.
The final chef to face Monica's test is sous chef Mark.
I've been a sous chef for about 3 years now. I work in North London, it's a gastro pub. My style is modern British, but I like to branch out and do different styles, French, Italian, Spanish. My experience in Michelin kitchen was 4 years in a restaurant in Ilkley. Well established, had a Michelin star for many years. Very good head chef. It taught me a lot. I'm very competitive, yeah. As soon as I get into a situation where I have to compete, I do get really into it and want to win.
How are you feeling? Nervous, I should imagine.
Very nervous, yeah.
Why?
Obviously, cooking for you guys is a real honour and privilege, so I'm just looking forward to getting on with it.
So what I would like you to do today is to make an île flottante and a caramel to decorate it with.
Okay.
All right? You have 15 minutes.
Mark, you've had 5 minutes.
It's not whipping up enough. You need more sugar.
You need more sugar?
Maybe. No.
What's the biggest enemy of a meringue?
Egg yolk, water.
And what was in there?
Egg yolk.
Mark, you're not going to use this at all?
No.
No. So make it the best damn custard you've ever made.
Yes, chef.
Whoa! Got 5 minutes. You okay?
Yes, chef.
Take a breath. Caramel? What are we going to do with the caramel?
It's firmed up too much.
That's it?
Yeah, sorry.
How are you feeling?
Terrible. Just really let myself down.
No caramel, no meringue. It's a shame.
For me, it all went wrong when you cracked your eggs, and you knew it because you tried to take some of that yolk out.
Yeah.
Right, come on, let's try your custard.
It's got a great texture to it. It's slightly warm. Sweetness is good, and the vanilla is good as well.
Yeah.
I'm glad we have a good bowl of custard. I'm expecting a whole lot more on the next plate of food from you.
Definitely.
There is one thing, though, Mark. The only way is up. It doesn't get any worse than this right now.
Yeah.
So you've got something to build on.
Mark, off you go. Thank you.
There was so many errors in there. Whether he can get it together or not, we'll see in the next round, but that was not great.
He really did lose it. He really did lose it.
I'm so gutted. It's completely out of your comfort zone. You just don't think clearly when it's like that. Anyway.
Marcus, your skills test now. What are you going to get them to do?
I'm going to ask the chef to cook us a blue steak with a green peppercorn sauce.
So a blue steak, from what I understand, is barely cooked.
It's not cooked, it's practically raw, it's just sealed around the outside.
I've never, ever had a blue steak, ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to this. Right, 15 minutes, blue steak, peppercorn sauce. Please show me how it's done.
We're just going to trim up the beef fillets, so we're going to take off the fat and sinew around the outside. And what we're looking for is just the meat itself. It's very important that we try and keep the centre of this steak as red as possible. Season your meat. You want to get your pan nice and hot, a touch of vegetable oil. Here I'm also going to put little fat trimmings, because we're going to be making the sauce from the pan. I'm looking for the maximum flavour out of all the ingredients that you're using.
And to feel the flavour of the sauce is coming from the extra flavour.
The most important thing is, when do you stop the cooking process? At what point do you take it out of the pan and leave it on the side? It's just basically till it's sealed. As you can see already, a short period of time in the pan, already cooking. And that's literally our blue steak cooked. But the chef has to make sure that the meat in the centre is not cold.
It has to be warm. There's nothing like eating meat that's already raw, but it's cold.
For the sauce, the shallots have to be cut beautifully. I'm just looking for really nice knife skills. So we take out our trimmings, pour off the excess fat, pan back on the stove, crush that, sticks of thyme, rosemary. They're going in whole because they're going to be lifted out later. Same for the garlic as well. A little bit of meat stock here, and I would like to see them reduce it down so you get a good depth of flavour as well. In with the shallots and some red wine vinegar to deglaze the pan.
There must be many different ways of making a peppercorn sauce.
There are, but it's making a good peppercorn sauce. You know, it's being able to use everything like Marcus has here. I'd hate to see a chef come and just use the base reduction there.
I've got some green peppercorns. The key to this is how much does the chef put in. What they need to do is just put a little bit at a time and just check it as they go along. The reduction's coming down to a nice glaze.
Right, that has
That's
really
about right,
reduced,
yeah.
How do they know when they've reduced it enough?
He or she has to be able to judge by sight.
Splash of cream. But one of the things I'm looking for here is a beautiful rich brown colour. You can see the shine on the top is incredibly rich. And I like to finish my sauce with just a splash of brandy. See how many times I've been back to this pan? Add a little bit, taste a little bit. That's what I'm looking for in the chef.
Add taste, add taste. It's actually got a blue tint to it.
That is exactly it, and that's why it's called blue steak.
That's so shiny, that sauce, I can see my face in it.
And there you have your blue steak and a green peppercorn sauce.
Yes!
Blue as it can be.
This is my first ever blue steak. Delicious, delicious. The steak is a texture, that's it.
Yep.
A little bit of firmness on the outside, soft in the middle. The flavour is the sauce.
That is spot on. The meat, it's still warm. This is about care and attention.
I'm happy with it from you. Let's see how the contestants get on with it.
Yep, let's get them in.
First up is 29-year-old Rebecca, who became a chef 4 years ago after being spotted while catering her mother-in-law's birthday party.
I'm the head chef of a village pub on the outskirts of York. It's the only pub in the village. I know the regulars really, really well. I'm completely self-taught. I've never had to work up the ranks of a brigade. So I've come in at head chef. So I'd like to know if I stand up as a head chef on my own or whether or not I should go back and do some training.
This is the skills test. How are you feeling?
Scared. Very scared. I'm good though.
This particular test was set by my friend Marcus.
Okay.
I would like you to cook for us a blue steak
Uh-huh.
and serve it with a peppercorn sauce. Have you done that before?
I have.
Great. Happy days.
Bad news is, I watched Marcus do this and I tasted it. It was fantastic. You've got 15 minutes to recreate it. Off you go. Forgive me, what are the gloves for?
I have a sensitivity to raw meat. Any kind of meat juices can give me a rash on my hands, so I just have to be careful.
OK. Do you have a steak on your menu at the moment, and do people ask for it blue?
Blue's not that common, really, to be honest. I would say medium rare is the favourite. Blue always frightens me because someone who orders blue tends to really know how they like their steaks. So...
Bit like us, then.
Yeah, pretty much.
You've had 5 minutes, Chef.
How long do I have in total?
Another 10.
Another 10? What am I missing? There's an important component I'm missing if I've got 10 minutes left.
You don't have to take 15 minutes.
OK, all right. And I don't have to use everything on the bench?
No.
Right, OK. That makes me feel less scared then.
Shaking.
I'm trying really hard to. Done.
5 minutes to go, you're done?
Yeah, I'm
OK.
done.
Rebecca, there are a few things on your bench that you should have been using. All the herbs, you got the garlic, but also the vinegar and the brandy. Brandy being a very important part of peppercorn sauce.
Yeah.
You know that.
It's just the nerves, I think, yeah.
I'm just a bit concerned that it may lack depth of flavour. Yep, that's not bad. The heat that's in my mouth now is burning the back of my throat, and that's not a good thing. But when we're using a peppercorn, we really need to chop it down to disperse the flavour gently through the sauce, rather than having the bite of the peppercorn in the mouth that's just pure heat that sets your throat on fire.
The steak was lovely. You did take it out in time, so it was still blue. However, you can see all the sinew where it should have been trimmed off. The sauce, it is a real letdown.
I wanted the sauce that Marcus gave me when he made it. There's nothing like it.
Thank you. That was so infuriating. It was possibly the best skills test I could have been given, and I completely fluffed it. I can't believe it.
Next up is 25-year-old Bobby from Billericay.
At the moment, I work as the sous chef in a modern international fine dining restaurant in Colchester. We do like modern takes on great British classics, like modern French classic dishes. The buzz of the kitchen is just what keeps you in it. You know, your heart's pounding every 5 minutes you're in service. A year and a half ago, I was cooking egg and bacon in a cafe, and now I'm presenting food that's probably 3A Rosette standard. It's been a massive journey. What I'm looking for is showing off my skills, 100%. It's just the right time, I just feel it's the right time. Yeah, I'm just going to go in big, big, big. Go big or you go home.
Bobby, the skills test I'd like you to do is cook us a blue steak with a peppercorn sauce.
Lovely.
You've got 15 minutes. Off you go.
Because I'm cooking it blue, I'm not going to have enough time to render down the fat, so I just want to remove some of it so you're not going to get some untasty fat. Where should I put the...
Lots of bowls underneath.
There.
Where are you from, Bobby?
Essex boy. As you can tell by the tan, it's not real.
Bob, you're halfway. You've got 7.5 minutes left.
Yep. Just got to finish this steak off.
Sauce done?
Yep. All done?
Yeah.
Bit disappointed that you threw all the trimmings of the beef away. You could have probably used, to make the sauce.
It's very blue.
Okay, and the sauce. I've got a funny feeling I'm reading your mind right now.
Yeah, you definitely are. 100%. I think I'm reading yours as well.
What are you both saying? Oops?
Yes.
I like the fact that you used the shallots, the garlic, tried to impart more flavour into it. However, I think the reduction stage was taken too far.
Right.
The meat, yes, it's lovely and blue, but it's lacking some seasoning from salt and pepper on there. It really does need it. It's so thick.
You were going the right way. You were doing the things I watched Marcus doing, just not perfectly. Off you go.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Bobby.
He has the swagger of a chef.
It would have been nice to have gone into the next round thinking I got all thumbs up, but, these things happen. Nerves got to me a little bit, I think. But, yeah. Let's hope for the next round, good things.
The final chef to face Marcus's test is Lewis from Dundee.
I'm currently working as a chef lecturer in a local college up in Arbroath. We do everything from meats, fish, garnish, desserts, quite an all-round package. Currently my dream in the cooking world is to be as best as I can be. I would like the students that I'm teaching to have a good role model. So the better I can be, the better they learn.
Lewis, I'm going to give you 15 minutes to cook us a blue steak with the peppercorn sauce. Done it before?
Yeah.
Go for it.
Where do you work, Lewis?
I actually teach the younger generation chef lecturer. I went to university and didn't complete the full year, just left that and decided to go where my heart lies and work with my hands.
What were you doing at university?
Psychology.
Did you not question yourself?
I did, yeah.
You're halfway.
Yes, chef.
Very calm and collected there. Measured approach.
It's a front. Not on the inside, definitely not.
All done?
Hold on.
How did that go?
Could have gone worse, it could have gone better.
Well, that's sitting on the fence. That is,
Sitting on the
Lewis.
fence, yeah.
I think you just lacked a little bit of energy in your cookery, which I think shows here, because I'm looking at a steak that you've cut in half that would have been better served whole, but not only that, it needed searing. It's a little bit bland looking. Yep, that's good. It's nice. Sauce. There's a lot of peppercorns there. Lewis, the steak is cooked blue, but the disappointing part about this is the lack of flavour around the outside, the caramelisation, and maybe even utilising the this fat as well into the pan to incorporate more flavour.
The sauce is a real shame because once you take the peppercorn into your mouth, you cannot taste anything else.
Knowing chefs as I do, I think you're probably going to be disappointed with yourself. Nice to see you kick it up in the next round. Off you go.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lewis.
Thank you.
Nearly got there. I don't reckon he was as calm as he made out.
The impression I made on the judges was probably a wee bit too calm. I think they're needing to see a wee bit more get up and go and oomph from me, which I definitely have.
That was our first skills test. Our first 6 chefs, and actually, I think the standard wasn't bad.
It's never easy to walk into here, and a few of them, the nerves have affected them today.
But it's the start. There's still another round to go. Who knows what these guys can come up with next?
Absolutely, and I'm looking forward to it.
You've now got a taste of what the MasterChef competition is like. Now, what we want from you is a signature dish.
I'd like to think the nerves are out of the way. You're familiar with the kitchen. The ingredients in front of you are your choice. It's your dish, and it's all about you now.
At the end of this, 3 of you are going home.
1 hour, 15 minutes. Off you go, chefs.
I think I did very well in the skills test. I just can't wait to get my dishes on and show them what I'm all about. It means a lot to impress them because this is my life. I couldn't do anything else because I'm rubbish at DIY and nothing. The only thing I can do is cooking.
Why are you a chef?
It ain't by fluke. When I was 16, my mum applied for us to be a florist. So I went in there to be a florist and cut the CVs mixed up so I ended up being a chef.
Sam, what are you cooking for us today?
So cooking stone bass, textures of cauliflower and pickled grapes. It's not overcomplicated, but it's a nice tasting dish and it's fresh.
Is it a dish that you saw on your menu at work, or have you made it especially for us?
Especially for you.
Are you confident?
Yes, very confident.
You had a good first round. Let's hope you keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Sam's cooking a stone bass that is going to fill with a scallop mousse. He's also going to be layering the top of the fish with some potato. He's got to keep an eye on the potato. You can't afford to burn it because when it's burnt, it's a disaster. And I'd like to see it nice and crisp.
He's serving his dish with 3 textures of cauliflower, which sounds wonderful. He's doing roasted, caramelised, and shaved. And it's all about getting the textures right on this plate.
My signature dish is a crowd pleaser. It's sticky, sweet, yummy. It's good traditional cooking, so I need to execute it in a way that shows my skill and techniques and get it perfect, because there's no room to hide behind such a simple dish.
What are you doing for us?
I am making a sticky toffee pudding.
Between Greg and I, we have had amazing sticky toffee puddings. This has got to be absolutely amazing.
It's going to have a molten centre with some tweels and Calvados apples as well.
Calvados apples?
Trying to make it a bit more grown up, so they're poached in a Calvados and apple juice.
Why would you choose to do a sticky toffee pudding in a round like this?
Because pastry's what I love, and also it's my little boy's favourite pudding.
How old's your little boy?
My boys are 3 and 17 months.
This is his favourite dessert?
Well, not with the Calvados apples.
Right, right. Nothing wrong with that. Start him young. Rebecca's talking about a molten centre inside the sticky toffee pudding. So as you cut into it, there should be a caramel centre. This sounds wonderful.
really going to have to pull off a fantastic dessert to get herself through to the quarter-final.
55 minutes left.
The judges have definitely not seen me at my best yet. I know what I need to do. Head down, move fast, produce a good plate of food that hopefully they'll all like, and bring myself back up.
So what are you making for us, Lewis?
The dish I'm going to do today is squab pigeon. I'm serving it with some morel mushrooms, asparagus, febs, some crispy potatoes in duck fat and mixed mushroom sauce to go over the top, and an asparagus puree.
It's a very expensive dish.
It's an expensive dish. I only get the one opportunity to come here.
What would it feel like to go through?
Absolutely amazing. A dream. An absolute dream.
Would you swagger into the classroom?
Certainly not, no. I would tell everybody to be quiet and let's get on with the lesson.
Lewis has got a point to prove. He's making a pigeon dish, which he's going to pan fry, pan roast into the oven. Serving it with asparagus puree. He's got morels, which he's going to mix through with the fresh peas.
We know all those flavours will work together, but I suppose it's all down to the skill of the chef.
I'm going to do my best to claw it back after my first round. I have to change the judges' opinions, otherwise I'm going home.
Mark, it's fair to say you didn't have the best of starts to this competition, did you, mate?
Certainly didn't, no. Absolute shocker. I wish the whole would just swallow me up. It was horrific. I need to prove to you guys that I can actually cook some food.
Signature dish time.
Yeah.
What is the title of your dish?
I'm going to do a roast lamb rump with braised lamb breast, and then I'm going to do that with some Jerusalem artichoke puree with baby artichokes, and then I'm going to do some peas and broad beans just to sort of liven it up.
Is this your food?
Yeah, my creation. It's elements which I've used before.
How much do you want one of the people to go through to be you?
More than anything. I would absolutely love it. I just want to see this competition through as much as I can.
So going home now after this dish would be pretty tough.
Heartbreaking, yeah. I'd be absolutely gutted, yeah.
And you'll never ever forget a floating island ever again for the rest of your life, will you?
Ever again, yeah.
Mark's signature dish is going to be a roasted lamb rump with braised belly, Jerusalem artichoke puree, and some roasted artichokes. I'm also looking for a good sauce as well, getting the consistency correct. This is a dish that's crying out for a good lamb sauce.
He can't afford to mess this up.
You have 25 minutes left. Just 25.
My dish has sort of taken over my life for the past sort of month with all the elements that I'm doing. I'm pushing myself very much so. It's going to be a close one. Really hope it works. Really hope it works.
You in control?
Calmer is probably the best word to say. Yeah, shaking stopped, thank God.
What's the dish?
Well, I sort of want to do my own take on a mixed grill. I'm going to cook 3 meats 3 ways. So I'm going to do quail, a stuffed pork tenderloin and a smoked beef fillet.
OK, how is all this going to come together? What's going to make this the one dish?
Well, I'm serving it with a burnt shallot puree, which I think goes with all 3 meats. I'm doing it with a smoked tomato chutney as well.
Right.
I just want to be different, show you something that you hadn't had before.
Different for the right reasons.
Hopefully.
This dish, have you tried it on customers or...?
Girlfriend just tried it. She loves it. She's going to love it, isn't she? I'm happy with the dish. I just hope you guys are.
So he's going to give us a glazed quail, a blue cheese stuffed loin of pork, and a smoked fillet of beef.
That's a lot going on with Bobby's dish. Blue cheese with the pork, my goodness me, that is a very, very big flavour. He says his girlfriend loves this dish. I hope we do too.
It'll mean a lot to impress. They're at the top of their field. They are like God to me, so it would be really good to impress them.
Aaron, you didn't have the best of starts, did you?
It was completely out of my comfort zone, but I'm here to improve on that and show you that I can cook.
Tell me, what is the dish you're cooking for us?
Pan-fried duck breast with textures of pearl barley, peach, pickled red cabbage.
This is not a dish that you cook in your job because you just can't do it for that many people.
We only get £2.86 per person for 4 meals per day, so the budget does not allow me to do that sort of thing.
If you go through to a quarter-final, how will you feel?
Ecstatic, over the moon. But I do realise that I've got a lot of weaknesses that I need to improve on.
Aaron, good luck with this, mate. Looking forward to the duck.
OK, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
He's cooking for us a duck breast, serving it with a pickled red cabbage, roasted peaches, and textures of pearl barley.
Of course, the most important part of cooking of the duck breast is that he renders the fat down really well. And of course, the textures of pearl barley, very important that they're cooked enough.
Aaron's got a lot to prove to us. His dish has got to be spot on.
Last 5 minutes.
We've got a great mix of dishes here. We've got a dessert going on. We've got 3 types of meat on another plate. We've got the most expensive ingredients of the season on another. All these dishes really are a true statement of what these chefs are like.
Last 60 seconds. Time's up.
Yeah, good, yeah.
I feel like a weight has just been lifted. Well done, mate.
Well done, mate.
Mine's collapsed. It's an absolute nightmare.
Right, you've all worked very hard. We are now very, very keen to sample your dishes. Sam, would you like to come and join us?
First up is Sam. He has made a stone bass fillet layered with scallop puree and crusted potato. It's served with cauliflower 3 ways: roasted, shavings, and a puree, crispy capers, and pickled grapes.
Presentation is good. You've got a really nice colour on top of the fish there. It's a very nicely presented dish.
Thank you.
I think you've done a really good job there.
Thank you.
The fish has a huge amount of flavour, more than actually I was expecting. I've just realised you've got the scallop puree, which is just underneath the potato, which is not an easy thing to do, and it's really enhanced the dish. And I can tell that you've seasoned during the cooking process, which is what I really like. And the potato on top is crunchy. Well done.
Thank you.
The roasted cauliflower, for me, it's got the beautiful sort of caramelisation, and it brings this dish together. The puree is so well seasoned, it's so smooth, it's silky, it's lovely. I think the grapes only just work because there's not too many on the plate. I think you've done a strong round again.
Thank you.
It's going rather swimmingly, isn't it, Sam?
It is.
I think it's a lovely dish. What I particularly like is how well you've cooked the fish.
We're not looking for perfection today, we're just looking for some good cookery, and I think you've done it on both counts. Well done.
Thank you.
Well done.
I feel ecstatic at the minute. Marcus wearing 2 Michelin star chefs just give us feedback like that. Just amazing. I couldn't be any happier.
Rebecca, it's pudding time. Up you come, please.
Rebecca has made sticky toffee pudding with Calvados apples, a pecan brittle, a tuile, candied dates, and a toffee sauce.
You were supposed to be giving us a sticky toffee pudding with an ouzi inside.
Yeah, but the ouzi's now on the outside. It's something that I've done so many times. I thought, is it too simple? No, I'm going to do it because I can do it. And it's just sod's law. But hey-ho.
The sticky toffee, I really like it.
Thank you.
I really, really like it. And I'd eat that all on my own, just that pudding. Presentation you can work on.
Yeah.
I actually really quite like the sauce. It's incredibly sweet, but we'd expect that. The apple is there on the side. It adds a nice little bit of tanginess to the dish. It's almost good home cookery, isn't it?
It's what every boy would want his mum to make. Yeah. However, it's a bit of a mess. Yeah. It just isn't very chefy. Right, Rebecca, here you are.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was nowhere near what I wanted it to be. It wasn't at the standard I know I can do, but the feedback was surprisingly nice. I honestly thought they were going to just refuse to eat it.
Lewis's squab pigeon is served with asparagus, morel mushrooms, potato discs, broad beans, shavings of truffle, fermented black garlic, an asparagus puree, and a mushroom stock.
Lewis, the bird's raw, really is raw. I find the puree, it's very grainy. It's not a nice puree. The sauce lacks a real depth of flavour. I'm really disappointed with this dish. It's not a good dish from you today, Lewis.
It lacks seasoning in areas, it lacks depth in areas. I think fundamentally we need to focus on the main event, which is the pigeon. It's raw, and you should have done something about that before you put it onto the plate.
OK. Do you think perhaps you did too much?
No, I agree, yeah. A wee bit off on timings. Maybe you should have got the bird on a wee bit earlier. Yeah, no, I agree.
Righto, Lewis. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of fatal errors, not even minor mistakes. So I've let myself down. I feel like it's an excellent opportunity blown.
Mark has made roast rump of lamb with braised lamb belly. It's accompanied by artichoke fondants, baby artichokes, and a Jerusalem artichoke puree served with a lamb sauce.
It looks like a hearty lamb dish. I would want to eat that. It looks nice.
Thank you. Right, can we?
Mark, the rump of lamb is still lovely in pink. It's nicely cooked. It's nicely seasoned. The belly, for me, is delicious. Absolutely delicious. The puree is lovely and smooth. Some great skills here.
Mark, I think you've redeemed yourself from the skills test. The braised belly is delicious, and without a doubt that has enhanced the sauce in such a way that it's a nice, deep, big sauce. If anything, I would like to see a few more beans. You know, I think we really are picking holes with this dish.
Thank you.
Good job, well done.
The belly is just superb. I mean, it's just melting. And it's the sort of stuff that you want to pick up with your fingers. Not bad, mate.
I'd like to think that I've shown as a chef that I can come back from being knocked down. Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Really, really happy. Feel completely relieved.
Bobby's version of a mixed grill is a smoked beef fillet, honey glazed quail, and a pork loin stuffed with sage and blue cheese. They're served with fondant potatoes, charred baby lettuce, burnt shallot puree, and a smoked tomato chutney.
Bobby, the mixed grill plate is a main course?
Yeah, it is a bit too small, I think.
But in saying that, it's a very light presentation.
Bobby, this dish doesn't work at all. And I think you're trying to be different for the sake of being different, and that's not a clever thing to do. It's all confused. Under seasoning of the vegetables, the potato, the lettuce, the blue cheese doesn't work on this dish. The slight smokiness on the beef is quite nice. It's not overpowering. I thought it'd be a lot bigger. But that's about it, Bobby, for me. I think you're just trying too hard.
Bobby, I really wanted to like this dish. I really wanted to. You know, you're a young, keen, eager chef. But to be different, it's got to be outstanding. The smoking of the beef is very light on there. It's not too strong. I thought you balanced that really well. Yes, you've got a lovely loin of pork there, it's still pink, but there's not a gram of seasoning on it. All you can taste is sage.
No.
You've let your chefiness just run wild with you. As a customer, I ain't going to order a dish that's got beef, pork and quail on it.
I don't feel great. It could have gone a lot better. I just probably tried too hard to impress. Maybe I should have just stuck with something I knew, was confident in, you know, so I knew I could deliver. It just didn't work for me today.
Aaron's dish is pan-fried duck breast with pearl barley, roasted peaches, carrot and peach puree topped with pickled red cabbage.
It's very bright. It captures your eye. For the right reasons, for me, no.
The duck itself is raw. It's not had enough time in the pan or in the oven. The peaches don't really have a place on this dish. And there's not enough pickled cabbage. I thought the cabbage was going to be a main event. The dish doesn't work together. I'm sorry.
From a professional chef, really does make me scratch my head. You know, it sort of gets me confused.
Monica and Marcus are finding huge holes. However, I like peach and duck. It's new to me. You've got some nice ideas, but I don't believe you have a great deal of cooking at high end, which is hardly surprising.
It's why I've come here to take on your criticisms, show me where I'm going wrong and things I can improve in.
Thank you, Aaron.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I feel disappointed in myself. I think the pressure got to me. It's been a steep learning curve.
Thank you very much, chefs. You've put a lot into these two tests. Your work now is over. Our hard work is about to begin. We have to decide which of you are going through to a quarter-final and which of you are leaving us. Thank you, chefs. Off you go. I think the standard is pretty high in parts. Certainly the nerves that we expected, but I'm quite excited about a couple of these.
There's been ups and downs, but I think overall, I feel very happy with this.
A few of them had a point to prove. A couple of them really did that. So I'm pleased that, you know, we've got a couple of good chefs here today.
I think Sam stands out head and shoulders above everyone else. He did both challenges very, very well. He delivered two fantastic dishes.
This is the beginning of a great journey for him.
Sam goes through.
A close runner-up in this signature dish for me was Mark.
He's completely and utterly messed up in the skills test, but the quality of his lamb dish was impossible to ignore. It was great.
Mark's lamb belly was fantastic. The whole dish came together beautifully well. I think he did a really good job.
We got two in. I'd now like to talk about contestants I think need to leave the competition.
I think Aaron was incredibly brave to come to the MasterChef kitchen with his knowledge of cookery. It's just not his day.
Aaron goes?
I think so.
Now, I really don't know what to do about Bobby, Lewis and Rebecca.
The reason why we liked Rebecca's dessert, or the main element of dessert, because it was comfort food. It's something you cook at home. It's not fine dining. It's not cutting edge. It is something very simple, and even that wasn't done correctly. If
you're going to do something like a sticky toffee pudding, it's got to be good. You can't afford to have mistakes if that's what you're going to do, and she did mess it up.
I would love to be a quarter-finalist, but I do think that I'm probably a bit of a wild card for the judges to put through. I have got something there. Whether or not I get the chance to show it, it's up to the judges.
I think there's definitely an interesting point about Bobby. He's keen, confident, probably a little bit overconfident, but that's not bad. What concerns me is his understanding of the ingredients, and I think sometimes more and more and more does not make a great dish.
Can he rein himself back? What more has he got?
I want to stay in the competition loads. I'll be gutted to go out so early. But I haven't delivered today, so I can't act surprised if I do.
Lewis is a chef who chose possibly the most expensive ingredients here today, yet did not do it any justice.
He served a raw pigeon and an underwhelming sauce.
Yes, there was errors, but I think with Lewis there could be something to build on.
Seems to have more experience.
I wouldn't have believed the amount of pressure here today. If I'd got to grips with the pressure, I would have had a much better result.
What I would ask you is, You've got 3 chefs there that have made mistakes. Who is likely to eradicate the mistakes going into the next round?
I never thought at this stage this would be so tough.
Well done, all 6 of you. We do admire the hard work you put into this. We also understand how nerve-wracking it can be coming into the MasterChef kitchen for the first time. We have made our decision. 3 of you are going through the quarterfinal.
The first chef leaving the competition is Aaron.
Thank you, Aaron.
Obviously, I'm gutted. I don't think I showed my best cooking today. Nerves got the better of me, unfortunately, but it is what it is on the day.
Our second chef leaving the competition. Rebecca.
Disappointing, but I'm not at all surprised. It's been amazing, completely, start to finish, even though it's been short and sweet.
And the third chef that is leaving us is... Lewis.
I'm not happy with the performance today, but I'll take away from it the experience and the learning curve that we've had, and I really enjoyed it.
Quarter-finalist.
The day's been fantastic. I couldn't have pictured it any better. Yeah, I'll have a couple of shandies in it, yeah.
I certainly did have to pull it out of the bag. I knew it was do or die, basically. It's going to be all guns blazing now. It has to be.
So relieved. I'm so grateful to get given a second chance. I don't think I've felt like this for a long, long while. It was fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
Tomorrow night, another 6 professionals fight for a place in the quarter-final.
Split.
Slow down a bit.
It slaps you around the face, it's great.
Smart dish. Smart guy.